Have you ever thought that the refrigerator is a perfectly safe place for all kinds of food? A place where you just need to put your food in, close the door, and feel reassured that everything will stay fresh and last longer? Well, that's not always the case. Some foods that seem perfectly healthy, from vegetables, fruits to familiar spices, can lose nutrients, alter in structure, or even produce harmful substances when stored the wrong way in a cold environment. And what's concerning is, these are all ingredients you probably see every day in your kitchen. Take potatoes, tomatoes, or honey, for example. You might be storing them in your fridge with the hope of keeping them longer, without realizing that this habit may actually be silently harming your body day after day. In today's video, I, Dr. Marie, will walk you through 7 common foods that should never be kept in the fridge, and why storing them the wrong way can negatively impact your health. And don't skip the first item, because it's something many people store every single day without realizing that just one simple mistake could turn it from harmless to toxic. Before we begin, may I ask you something? Where in the world are you watching this video from? I would truly love to know who I'm sharing this health journey with today. Please leave your region or country in the comments below. I'll be reading every message with care. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any upcoming health and nutrition tips for middle-aged and senior viewers. Now let's begin with the first item on our list, a root that seems harmless but can become toxic if stored incorrectly. Food 1. Raw potatoes. When the fridge kills nutrition and quietly creates toxins. Have you ever tossed raw potatoes into the fridge thinking it would help them last longer? If so, you're not alone. Many people still do this every day, not knowing that it not only doesn't help, but may actually harm their health. Potatoes contain a lot of starch, and when this starch meets the cold temperature of the fridge, it quickly converts into simple sugars. The danger lies here. When you cook these chilled potatoes, frying, roasting, or baking them at high temperatures, the newly formed sugars react with the natural amino acids in the potato, producing a chemical called acrylamide. This compound has been warned by many health agencies for its potential to damage cells and increase the risk of serious cancers, such as ovarian, endometrial, or esophageal cancer. If you've ever seen those golden brown, crispy potato chips or fries, they likely contain the highest amounts of acrylamide. Even if there's no visible burning, if the potato was previously stored in the fridge, the level of this harmful chemical may still exceed safety thresholds, and that's something you can't see or taste. On top of that, the fridge's humidity can cause potatoes to sprout, soften, and develop mold. After just a few days, you might notice the potatoes turning dark, leaking, or needing to be thrown away, a complete waste of money and effort. So what's the right way to store them? Keep potatoes in a dry, well-ventilated place away from strong light. Ideally, use a wicker basket, cloth bag, or ventilated container, never plastic bags, as they trap moisture and speed up spoilage. When cooking, try not to peel the skin too early. The skin helps slow down blood sugar spikes after eating. Most importantly, avoid frying potatoes at high temperatures, especially above 180 degrees Celsius, because that's the perfect condition for acrylamide to form. Surprising, isn't it? A familiar food like potatoes, if stored the wrong way, can actually become a hidden source of toxins in your very own kitchen. But hold on to that surprise, because the next item we'll talk about is a fruit that almost everyone keeps in the vegetable drawer of their fridge, not knowing that it's slowly breaking down its precious nutrients from the inside out. Dear viewer, if you're still watching at this point, I sincerely appreciate the time you've taken to care about your health. Drop a number 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me. Food 2. Tomatoes. The cancer-fighting compound gets frozen by a common habit. Most people, after buying tomatoes, immediately put them in the fridge, especially when they want to keep them fresh for longer. But did you know that this seemingly careful habit is actually robbing tomatoes of their valuable nutrients? The cold temperature in the fridge damages the internal structure of the tomato, especially the delicate cell membranes. As a result, the flesh becomes mushy, loses its natural sweetness, and tastes bland and unappealing. But more concerning is that chilling interrupts the activation of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that only works effectively when the tomato ripens naturally at room temperature. Lycopene is the very compound that helps the body fight aging, support cardiovascular health, and has been researched for its ability to prevent certain types of cancer, such as prostate cancer. When chilled too early, tomatoes may still look fresh, but their nutritional value is already significantly compromised. Not to mention, if you take tomatoes straight from the fridge and cook them immediately, the sudden change in temperature will cause color loss, reduce flavor, and soften the texture, making your dish much less appealing. So how can you preserve all the benefits of tomatoes? Store them in a cool, well-ventilated place away from direct sunlight. If you want to speed up ripening, place them next to a banana or an apple because they emit ethylene, a natural gas that helps fruits ripen evenly and retain more nutrients. And remember, avoid eating dark green unripe tomatoes, as they may contain solanine, a mildly irritating substance, especially for people with sensitive digestive systems. Tomatoes are not just a food. They're an antioxidant weapon if you know how to store them properly. And right after this, we'll move on to another classic misconception. A food you think cold storage would protect from mold, but in reality, it dries out, loses flavor, and spoils faster than you might expect. Food 3. Bread. Don't let the fridge steal its aroma and flavor. Many people think putting bread in the fridge is a smart way to keep it from molding, but reality shows the opposite. The fridge might be the very reason your bread dries out, hardens, and loses its original aroma. Cold temperatures accelerate the dehydration process inside the bread, making it dry, rough, and lose its soft, chewy texture, especially with whole grain or naturally fermented breads. The structure also changes, and the distinctive smell nearly disappears. Ironically, although the fridge may feel dry, its internal humidity actually circulates continuously. The crust can reabsorb that moisture, creating the perfect condition for mold to appear, which was what you were trying to avoid in the first place. So what's the right solution? If you plan to eat the bread within 1 to 2 days, just store it in a cloth bag or airtight container, in a cool place away from direct sunlight. If you want to store it longer, choose freezing. When thawed correctly and reheated in an oven or toaster, bread not only regains its flavor, but also produces resistant starch, a type of beneficial fiber that helps with digestion, controls blood sugar, and nourishes gut bacteria. Just a small change in storage habits can make a big difference in nutritional value and daily taste experience. And now, let's take a break from roots and baked goods and move to a familiar fruit found in almost every home. But are you storing it correctly, or are you unknowingly causing it to deteriorate without even realizing? If you're still watching the video up to this point, thank you for staying with me. I truly appreciate that. Please leave the number 3 in the comments so I know I'm not speaking alone. Food 4. Avocado. Cold before ripe. Nutrients vanish before they even form. Do you often place unripe avocados in the fridge to keep them longer? It sounds reasonable, but unfortunately, that habit strips avocados of almost all their nutritional value and natural deliciousness. Avocados are highly sensitive to cold, especially when they haven't ripened fully. When chilled too early, the enzymes needed for the ripening process stop working, causing the peel to remain firm while the inside turns stringy, dark and bitter. Although the outside may still look fine, the flesh inside is far from what you'd get from a naturally ripened avocado. Chilling at the wrong time significantly reduces the amount of healthy fats, digestion-supporting fiber, and vital antioxidants that benefit the heart and brain. Instead of being a superfood, the avocado becomes a disappointing ingredient on your plate. To get the most from an avocado, let it ripen at room temperature. If you want to speed things up, place it in a paper bag with an apple or banana, since these fruits emit natural ethylene gas that helps ripen produce evenly and quickly. Once the avocado reaches the ideal softness, you can refrigerate it, but only for 1 to 2 days to preserve its flavor. If it's already cut, you can squeeze a few drops of lemon juice on the flesh, or place a lemon slice over the exposed surface to slow down oxidation. If you're not using it right away, freezing is still a great option. It keeps nutrients intact for smoothies, sauces, or guacamole for weeks. If you've always believed the fridge is the best place to keep food fresh, maybe the avocado will make you think twice. And don't look away yet, because the next fruit, found in almost every kitchen, can silently spike your blood sugar if stored incorrectly. Food 5. Banana. Cold. Increases sugar, dulls flavor, and reduces nutritional value. Bananas are often seen as easy to eat, easy to store fruit. But there's one mistake many people make: putting bananas in the fridge right after buying them, hoping to keep them fresh and prevent over-ripening. The issue lies in the banana's thin peel, which is extremely sensitive to cold temperatures. When refrigerated, the peel quickly turns black, making it seem like the fruit is spoiled, even though the flesh inside is still edible. However, this isn't the natural ripening process. It's because the pigments in the peel break down when exposed to cold. This doesn't just affect the banana's appearance. Cold also alters the texture of the fruit, making it mushy, less sweet, and stripping it of its natural aroma. Even more concerning, when bananas become overripe, their glycemic index rises significantly, causing a quick spike in blood sugar after eating. This poses risks for people with insulin resistance, may contribute to weight gain and belly fat, and over time can be linked to prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. So what's the right way to store bananas? The simplest method is to keep them at room temperature, in a cool place away from direct sunlight. One effective trick is to wrap the stems in plastic wrap or foil. This slows the ripening process by reducing ethylene release. If you have many ripe bananas you're not ready to eat, peel, slice, and freeze them. Frozen bananas are perfect for making smoothies, banana bread, or healthy desserts. Bananas are considered a safe choice, but as you can see, storing them the wrong way can reduce their benefits significantly. And coming up next, we'll explore a very familiar kitchen ingredient, often praised as a natural medicine, but if stored incorrectly, it can become a real hazard. Food 6. Garlic, a powerful remedy when stored correctly, a danger when handled wrong. Garlic has long been known as a natural medicine in the kitchen, celebrated for its ability to strengthen the immune system, protect the heart, and support anti-inflammatory processes. However, if you're in the habit of putting garlic in the refrigerator, especially after peeling or crushing it, then you may be unknowingly reducing the precious effects of this spice. Low temperatures and moisture in the fridge can cause garlic to sprout prematurely. This is a sign that the biological structure of the garlic has already changed. And more importantly, the amount of allicin, the main active compound in garlic, drops significantly. Allicin is what gives garlic its strong antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. Even worse, many people make the mistake of mixing pre-minced garlic with oil and storing it at room temperature in a sealed jar. This may seem convenient, but it actually creates an ideal anaerobic environment for Clostridium botulinum bacteria to thrive. This bacteria causes botulism poisoning, rare but extremely dangerous, which can lead to muscle paralysis or even death if not treated in time. The safe way to store garlic is keep the bulbs whole, place them in a cool, dry place away from sunlight. If you want to prepare minced garlic for future use, portion it and freeze it. This keeps the flavor intact and reduces bacterial risk. Just a bit of caution is enough to help you continue enjoying all the benefits garlic offers. Garlic is precious, but if stored the wrong way, all of its benefits can become meaningless or even dangerous. And next, we'll talk about a food that's often praised as a natural elixir, but if stored incorrectly, it could turn into a victim of temperature. You'll be surprised. Food 7. Honey. When this liquid gold gets cold, its effects fade away. To many people, honey is the ideal substitute for sugar, natural and healthy. However, one common mistake is storing honey in the refrigerator to make it last longer. This seemingly harmless act is actually the reason honey loses much of its valuable qualities. When kept in cold environments, honey crystallizes, meaning the sugars separate from the water, forming a grainy, hardened texture that's difficult to use. While crystallized honey isn't spoiled, many people misunderstand and try to reheat it, often using a microwave or direct heat. This simple action can destroy the enzymes and antioxidants in honey if the temperature exceeds 40 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Celsius. That means you're losing the antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and immune-boosting effects that pure honey is trusted for. The simplest and most correct way is store honey at room temperature in a sealed jar away from sunlight and damp places. If crystallization happens, just soak the jar in warm water and stir gently. Don't heat it directly, and the honey will return to its original state while keeping its nutritional value intact. Even though it's natural, honey is still a concentrated sugar. If overused, it can lead to high blood sugar, elevated blood lipids, or chronic inflammation. Use honey as a remedy, a little but potent, not as a complete replacement for sweeteners. Dear friend, we've just reviewed 7 everyday foods that are often stored incorrectly in the refrigerator. These small mistakes, if repeated over a long time, can silently and seriously affect your health and your family's well-being. Potatoes, tomatoes, bread, or bananas. These daily staples, when exposed to improper temperatures, not only lose their nutrients, but may also develop toxins or disrupt your metabolism. Even foods once considered super healthy like avocados, garlic, or honey, if we don't understand their nature and proper storage, can turn into a double-edged sword. All of this is not meant to make you anxious, but rather to help you become more aware and proactive in protecting your health. Sometimes, just one small change in the way we store our food can make a huge difference in our quality of life. If you found this video helpful, I sincerely hope you'll share it with your loved ones, because someone you care about may be unknowingly putting their health at risk through what they believe are harmless daily habits. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because I, Dr. Marie, will continue bringing you more clear, practical, and science-based videos on the journey toward everyday wellness. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I wish you peace, vibrant energy, and I'll see you again in the next video.